felt that before.
Hello. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Battlesnake Sunday stream. I'm Corey, and I am excited to be back. I was out last week on vacation, but excited to be back and streaming again today. If you are in chat, let me know how the volume is of music and my mic. My headphones don't seem to be working as amazing this morning, so definitely let me know how the volume is. But today is Sunday, and we are gonna do some Battlesnake today. Battlesnake is an online programming game where you control a little snake like this by writing a web server, and you get to tell it how to move. You get to decide if you should go up, down, left, or right, and your goal is to be the last snake alive on the board. And that is the gist of Battlesnake, and coming up soon there is this Winter Championship 2022 tournament, and my snake here, Hovering Hobbs, was able to qualify for the wildcard tournament, which is next Saturday, I believe. And so today we are going to spend some time getting ready for that tournament, I think. So a few weeks ago on stream, we were working on adding some state to Hobbs so he could remember things turn to turn. And we are going to be continuing with that today. I'm going to take a pause for just a second and look at my mic and headphone settings and just make sure that I think things are working well. Give me just a sec, everyone. Okay, I think things are working well. I think I just have volume out of only one earphone right now, but I think everything's working, and if not, let me know. And so I think we're just going to start right in and jump into some code today, and I'm going to remind myself where we left off last time. So last time we were working on adding some state between turns so that Hobbs could remember things turn to turn. And we did that specifically for Hobbs. A few weeks before that, we had tried to do it for like all of my generic snakes, but had run into some issues. So we're doing it specifically for Hobbs. Hobbs has his own little file now in WebAxum where it knows it has an app state that holds onto a game state. And the game state is actually, there's a hash map of them for the game ID to the specific game state we need. And each game state knows a few things. It knows the ID map for the snakes, how to translate the string identifier to a snake ID that we use in the internal representation. This is just so that we have a consistent snake ID in different turns, which is helpful now that we're remembering things. And then the other thing is we have the last move. Last move state just is the what the board looked like before and what the return value from our min-max was. And this is where we're doing some hard coding at the moment. We're only supporting wrapped cell boards for 4 snakes in an 11 by 11, which is going to be perfect for this Winter Championship in a week, but is something we'll probably want to look at again later, because I think right now Hobbs is just going to crash if we put him in a non-wrapped game, which is gonna be okay for now, but definitely not amazing eventually. Yeah, and then when we want to go to use the state, we pull it out of our state from Axum. It's wrapped in an arc mutex so that we can pass it across threads and not run into data races or things like that. The mutex makes sure only one thread is using it at a time. We might eventually want to get rid of this mutex here, but at the moment we're just gonna be okay with that. And how do we actually do that in our move here? So we get the state, and we lock the state, but only for a little bit here. And then what do we do out of it? We get the... Okay, so we clone the game state out of this. Or except, wait, what are we cloning here? What are you, game state? You're an actual game state. Okay. Awesome. And game state is one of the inner things, yeah, that just has the ID map and last move so far. So I think game state here is where we're probably going to want to add our transposition table. That's what we're going to work on today, is adding a transposition table that remembers the score for boards that we've seen. So when we go to score a board, I want to remember it so that if we ever need to score that same board again, we just can pull it out of our hash instead of running the scoring algorithm. And since the flood fill score that Hobbs uses takes a significant amount of time, I think that'll make a big difference. So yeah, I think that is where we will get started today, is just seeing if we can get a transposition table. So I guess let's look at what we were doing before. So we get our game state, we see if there was a last move. If there was a last move and the turn was the last turn. Okay, so we make sure that we aren't like missing turns since we only store the last one. That's good. If we have it, then we... What are we doing here? Oh, this is making sure that we can, when I keep my last return value, I need to see what move the snake's actually made to use the right like branch from my tree. So that's what this logic is. We're calculating the diffs and we're figuring out which moves were this one here. And then here is where we... What are we doing here? Moving snake ID. Yeah, so here is where we look at the return values and pull off different snake moves that match the ones that we actually saw until we find the right move. And then we pull out the... Yeah, we just pull out the options, the moves that were made at that node, and use those as our starting point for our paranoid min-max, where eventually we're going to call that with our last move. Where do we... First options for snake is scored options. Spawn blocking with tracing. Choose move inner. Here we go. Initial return. Choose move inner passes the initial return, which is the thing that we're remembering turn from turn now. Which will... so that was just our first state last time, and now we're going to do a transposition table probably as well. I don't think there's a reason to rip this out at the moment. So let's go ahead and add a transposition table to our state here. And then we'll go and start actually like putting things in here. So let's do a... I could just call it transposition table or something, but it's really like a score map or something maybe. It's a hash map from a wrap cell board to a score, I think. Yeah, because I already have this score in scope. So yeah, our game state now has a score map of our board to a specific score. This is just the enum that I use for my score and hovering Hobbs. And then the only other thing here is I don't actually want just a hash map. I want to use an FX hash. So let's go Rust. And this is because for transposition tables, I want to be able to have a fast hashing algorithm. An FX hash is the one that's a little faster. It's used internally by the Rusty compiler. And the thing here is that it is not cryptographically secure. But that's not what we need here. We're fine with that. And we just want to be fast. So this should be perfect for us. And then I just need to remember how to actually go about using you. I think I just want to do this. I just want to use an fx hash map instead of my normal hash map. So this actually isn't going to be one of these. It's going to be an fx hash map. And then is this just going to need to be imported? Nope, I think I just need to actually use it. So cd to web axum cargo add fx hash. Yeah. Cool. And still no suggestions for me? Come on. There we go. Import. There we go. Okay. So then now when we make a new game state, I just need to do a, what is this? What did I call it? Score map equals default. Cool. Just get a new one of those. And then are we compiling? Probably should be. It's not going to be used, but that's okay. Warning. Game state has derived impls. Oh, that's just telling me that it's not used, which is true. Okay, so now that we have our score map, we need to actually, like, use it. And I think what's nifty, though, is I have my score stuff already pulled out. So when we actually construct my min-max snake, we do so down here somewhere. Let's find that code. Here we go. And we pass it a reference to this standard score here. And I think what I want to do is just wrap standard score in a new function. That, or maybe I don't want it to be a function. Maybe I want it to be a closure. Can I do like let score closure equal something like that? Yeah, okay, cool. That's not quite right, but do I have... Okay, so let's actually see what I have here. I probably have a game state, right? Here's my game state. So I've actually cloned the game state here. Do I want this to be a clone? Is that okay? That's interesting. I actually don't think I want to clone it because I don't want to be cloning this huge hash map every time. Yeah, and right now it's clonable, but I don't actually think I want it to be cloned. Okay, so let's look at changing that. So in move here, I'm cloning this. I don't want to though. Is that now gonna be really mad at me though? Oh, okay, well this is mad at me. To do, I don't use this, so it's fine. Okay. State guard dropped. Yeah, okay, so that's what I was thinking was gonna happen. It's gonna be mad at me about my borrows because I'm trying to drop the state guard here so that I don't have to keep my mutex locked. But the problem there is that then I can't drop my state guard. I could probably do this if I just got rid of this block and kept it the whole time, but then I'd be blocking the mutex the entire time I'm thinking. Which, where is my mutex? My mutex is on the whole app state. So if I lock on that whole app state, that means that no other thread can do any games while I have that locked, which I don't want to do. I want to be able to at least play different games, which means I might need another mutex farther down here. Because per game, it's totally fine to lock a mutex for my thread. Because I should only be doing one, like, main, like, web request per game at a time. Just because that's how Battlesnake works. So that wouldn't be an issue. But would that actually solve my issue? Would that solve the problem I'm running into at all? So I don't think clone here, oops. I think clone here will work, but it's definitely going to be really inefficient because I'm going to be cloning this whole hash map. And like the whole idea is that I want to keep this hash map. Yeah, I want one hash map that I'm inserting into. I don't want to be cloning it. Okay, so let's figure out how to do that. I think the first thing that I might want to do is I might want to not make this clone because I don't think I want to clone it. I'm fine with cloning last move state, that's fine, but I don't want to clone this with my score map in it. So that's fine, but now it's just going to tell me that you can't do this. Okay, so now this is just cloning a reference, which like this is now useless. But now it's mad because state guard doesn't live long enough, which makes sense because if I have the thing in the mutex, I can't do anything about it at that level. But I don't know if I like, do I want that mutex? Can I just get rid of it? I don't think so, but let's find out. If in my main here, I don't think that I can do it if I get rid of the mutex. Like if I just do this, I think it won't let me pass state into here. Mismatched expected struct. Oh, okay, so now it just says that it's expect how, ooh, that's interesting. How is it getting that error message? That's a really nice error message. Where is it expecting a parking lot mutex? Did I tell it that somewhere? I feel like I didn't tell it that explicitly anywhere. Mutex, there we go. Yeah, those are the only two places that's defined. Interesting. Okay. Is it just because of this? And can I just get rid of these? Yeah, there is no lock because what are you yelling at me about, Rust? Okay, sure. Right here. Can't borrow data in an arc as mutable. Yeah. Trait deref mute is required to modify through a dereference, and it is not implemented for an arc. Yeah. Okay. Can't borrow as mutable. I don't think I can just do this. Mutable. Yeah, it doesn't like that. What do you want me to do? Remove it? Okay. Thanks. Thanks, computers. Okay, so like I do kind of need okay, so I have a way to kind of save state. I guess how do I actually insert into this at the end? Because when we actually go to make a move, here we go. We lock it again here for the moment. Oh, wait, gamestates.state.gamestates.get mute. Okay, but this is like after we locked the mutex. Yeah, so I think it's, again, like everything being behind the mutex here is important. But then I guess I could put, and that's all I need to do. Okay, this is actually easier than I was thinking. I'm gonna reset, and then I was going about this, I think, the wrong direction. I think what I want to do instead is in game state here, I want to add a, I want to add a new public field called score map. And this is an arc on a mutex of a hash map except this isn't right. It's of a wrapped to score. And then this is really an fx hash map. We add fx hash map back. Wait for this to figure itself out. And then eventually we should be able to import that. I can't find it. I thought I just did you to import it. Okay, there we go. And then this can just be score map. Of that. So now only one thing can access the score map at a time, and every time we clone game state, we're just going to clone the atomic reference counter, not the thing, and then we can get it from the mutex underneath. Okay, there we go. We just needed more wrapping of things, because now I can clone the game state, and I don't clone this thing. And then the mutex is going to allow me to actually mutate it under the hood. Perfect. Okay, so now I think we can go back to down here. I'm gonna actually, let's see, so we have a game state, right? Yeah, we have a game state, awesome. So let's go back down to where we need to use this, there we go, and let's do let score closure equal a closure of that, yep. So then, yeah, let score equal standard score of board. Then we just return score at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. And then this I want to do as a reference to score closure. Score closure does not live long enough. Borrowed value. Oh, okay. Is borrowed for static. Oh, interesting. Okay. Wonder if it needs to be, but right now it definitely is. So scoreable type has a static. What if it just didn't? That might have been easy. Hey Josh, how's it going? Happy to have you here. Let me know if the volumes and stuff are doing good, Josh. My headphones aren't behaving nicely this morning, so I can't hear myself quite as well. Okay, so it does want to be static, but why? To meet its required lifetime bounds. Yeah, I don't want to make it static, though. That's the whole point. I guess I could... No, I can't make it a static function, because eventually it's going to need to talk to my new hash map. Hey, 210, and thank you, Josh, for a volume level check. Nice to have everyone here. We are working on trying to add a transposition table to Hobbs so he can remember the scores from turn to turn. And as always, we're fighting with Rust a little bit right now. The problem is that at the moment I have told my paranoid min-max stuff that the scoreable type, the like function that does scoring here, had a static lifetime, meaning it lived for the duration of my program. But that's not true. Or it's not true, it's that I don't want it to have that. Before I was using just hard-coded functions and that worked great, but now I actually want to like closure over or capture this hash map that I want to use as my I want to use this hash map to keep track of the scores and like do a transposition table. So that means that I don't think I want it to be static, but when I make it not static, everything gets mad in different places. So let's go to like my paranoid eval line 443. There we go. So what's going on here? Wrapped score takes into account. So that's my thing. Does this take a... No. Wait, why are you upset though? The parameter scoreable type might not live long enough. But I don't even see where scoreable type is being used here. This doesn't even use that. I'm a little confused by this. So that... Oh, thanks for stopping by, Brad. Oh, wow, getting some snow, Josh. Yeah, definitely not the best time to rake leaves then if you're getting some snow, but that's always a good change. It is December now, so we're at least in the right season, right? That's pretty fun though. I just got back from a tropical vacation in the Caribbean, so I'm not really ready for this cold weather yet, but it's cold in my neck of the woods as well. Okay, so I just need to read this error message. I don't know where we're... The parameter scoreable type does not live long enough. I don't like... Is it the self here? Like, what is actually... Oh, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Yeah, the Caribbean was very nice. Nice and warm. It was like 80 degrees the whole time. And yeah, free Amazon dollars. Never gonna complain about that, Brad. But yeah, the Caribbean was very, very nice. It was a nice 80-degree weather, like night and day, basically. I was there for my honeymoon with my wife. We got married at the beginning of October and did a little delayed-ish honeymoon, but it was very, very good. And happy to be back, though. It was a great week, but always good to be back after as well. Okay, so this is wrapped score. Is this gonna call self.score? It definitely is. Ooh, there is our second sound effect. We have the second mystery sound effect that goes off after a minute. Need to figure that out at some point. Okay, so here though is the score function. Wrapped scoreable. There is this one. Have a static? I feel like there's just some statics hanging around that I don't like necessarily need, but they're causing issues. So let's just search for static. Where do we get some statics? Game type can be static, score type is static. I'm not sure about that. Here we go. Here's a scoreable plus static. Let's just get rid of that. Oh, 30 centimeters of snow. Yeah, that's a good bit of snow. Let's see. I'm gonna try to quickly do. That's a good foot of snow or so. Yeah, that's a good bit of snow. Trying to do my quick conversions. That's definitely a good bit of snow though. It was definitely nice to get some warm weather, but I guess I'm back and ready for normal life with the cold weather now. Not any snow here though yet, or at least if there was, I missed it while we were gone last week, but I don't think we've gotten much in the East Coast here yet. And thanks for joining, Jonathan. Always good to have you. Okay, yeah, let's just get rid of that one. I'm not using here. That's fine. We can keep that one there. Okay. A battle snake. I'm not sure if I'm using this here. It still wants me to add some explicit lifetime bounds. Will meet its required lifetime. Okay, so let's go to like the scoreable type. Like have one defined as static, like in its definition, and also what's going on VS Code. Okay, where is scoreable type? Oh yeah, because scoreable type is one of the generics. It's not an actual type. That makes sense. So it's just everywhere. Don't want scoreable type to have to be static. That's the goal of everything here. That's totally fine, though. Those should be fine there. Improbable Irenes, these should be fine there. Okay, these ones though. Game type. I'm not sure about game type and score type having statics, but we're gonna see. The name can be a static string, that's fine. When you call from function, that's fine. I'm not calling from function, I'm calling new. Right? New. Yep. Okay. So that's better there. Lazy SMP, those statics should be fine. Here's this, oh, and that's from function with options again. That should be fine. Okay, those ones might be fine. Catching up on some chats. Moved to Stockholm this year, but at least the snow was gone in a few days in the city. Yeah, that is the nice thing, or not, maybe not nice depending on your view, but it is nice when the snows don't always last long in the cities, or they can get cleaned up nicely. Okay, so why do you have to be static? It might not live long enough. Okay, so let's look at what's happening in Paranoid Eval 578. Paranoid Eval 578. Okay, so is it because I'm moving things to a thread here? Because that could be what it is. Does lazy SMP actually make your snake stronger? No, not yet at least. Lazy SMP was an experiment that I haven't come back to and tried again. But it hadn't yet. And also I think lazy SMP was like potentially a slightly misnamed thing. But I guess this is actually where the closest part where I actually kind of had a cached score thing already here. Oh, so I guess I could look at what I was doing here and see if I can take anything. These all still have the statics here, which is interesting. Oh, that's because it's one level down that I'm doing the caching. And then, oh wait, I have a cached score. Oh, cool, I have some code. I can use some of this code. This one didn't pan out very well though, Jonathan, where this lazy SMP version didn't work. The idea here was that I was going to run two min-maxes side by side, and one was going to be the main one, and one was like a background one with a different score function. Or not a different score function, using the cached score function, but I think it was, there was something different about it. It didn't do ordering right, or the same or something. But no, this never worked out correctly. I think it just was wasting CPU cycles, basically. So, similar idea in the caching may be coming back, but not exactly the lazy SMP strategy all the way. Hey, Viper Gaming, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. First time chatter, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I actually liked this struct that I forgot existed though. There's this cached score struct, which is probably what I want to use here. It takes a scoreable type. This is not static, yeah, and it has the cache, which is this is using a dash map. It's an implementation of a concurrent associated array hash map. Oh, cool. I'm not sure if I need that. I'm gonna, this allows you to put it in an arc and share between threads while being able to modify it. Okay, that actually seems reasonable. I'm not sure if dash map is gonna be... Ooh, okay, so dash map, I could use fx hash with a dash map. Okay, so maybe I just want to use cache score here. Then dash map, I think I can... Okay, so let's do this. There's a few things we're going to want to do here. So this isn't Battlesnake min-max. So let's go back out here. Does Battlesnake min-max use FX yet? No, but it can. Okay. Thank you for mentioning the lazy SMP, Jonathan, because now I gotta use some of the code that I'd already written and totally forgot about. So let's add FX hash here. Let's go to my cached score, and let's tell this that it's going to use the FX. There's like an FX hasher or something. Gold hasher. There we go. Okay, so now we can both use a dash map and the FX hash function. So this should be both fast, and now I should be able to share that between threads. That's cool. Okay, so now let's see if I can go back to Hobbs over here. And I don't want this score closure. What I want is like a let caching score. Oh, but okay, well let's experiment here. Cached score. Yep. No, that's not what I want at all. What does this take in its new? It takes a scoreable, so it takes standard score, and then it takes the cache, which is this dash map thing. And let's make a little type for my cache, which is this. Cache is type. Which cache type? Oh, okay, can't do that. I could make this like a generic over those two things. I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, that works though. I can just keep repeating it. The only thing is I need to also do this fx build hasher there. Okay, cool. So it takes in two things down here. It's gonna take in the standard score function, and it's gonna take in that. Like, I don't know how that doesn't think things are wrong, because they very much are. But let's figure it out. Okay. Expected struct, build, hasher default, found, struct, random state. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so this is in lazy SMP. There's just an error here that I should fix really quick. 73. Cache. Okay, yeah, so I need the cache here to cached score. There, this. Yeah, fx hash build hasher. Okay, which line are you? 107. I'm assuming it's in the same file. Yes. Lazy SMP is going to take one of these. Here's cached score. Wait, I don't see. There's dash map. Yeah, okay. Wait, okay. Expected this found. Oh yeah, okay. So it's a found thing. So there's probably a variable that I'm making here, where this gets a fx build hasher. There we go. Okay, making some progress. Just keeping going. 72. Oh. Should I just like do a default? Default. Yay! Okay, so now we're back to this static thing. But these actually kind of make sense now that I look at them, because we are moving things to some new threads and looping forever. So it does make sense that we need static lifetimes here, but I don't want to have static lifetimes here, so what can I do instead? Can I use a threaded... like there is a thread that lets me refer to local variables. The problem is it doesn't let me return until the thread is closed. And I don't think that's really what I want. But like there are some other thread methods. Like there's thread scope. Create a scope for spawning scoped threads. Oh, okay. After the scope, we can modify and access our variables again. Okay, so do I want to do like a... Well, let's actually, before I just do this, let's see if this is a good idea. Do I want to try to do scoped threads here? Or is there a better thing to do. Copy is a self dot clone. Consider the parameter score type may not live long enough, so that scoreable type will meet its required lifetime bounds. Yeah. And scoreable type. Yeah, what is our scoreable type? Like, I know it, but let's just look at it up here. So scoreable type is this. It does implement clone and is send sync, but it's not static, which is the point. I don't want it to be static at the moment. 578. So it's definitely this thread though. Like, I know what the issue is. It's moving it to the thread. Yeah, okay, and if I don't do self.clone, we don't have an issue, but if I just call this on self instead, we get the exact same issue again. Okay. So I can make a copy of my whole snake, and that's what we're doing. And calling score, that shouldn't like be a problem. I think I want to try scoping, doing a scope thing. So let's try that. Let's do thread scope. And it takes in nothing? Is that what it's telling me? I think so. Create, yeah, let's just look at the examples. Scope takes in an S. Okay, yep. That's unused, and then this would be like, I can do that, put this after, oop, I don't know where after is actually. Let's get the error back, yep. Okay, so then after here, I would want to do that. Perfect. This is now gonna be s.spawn. Okay, there we go. Except in the main thread, I actually want to do all of this, at least down to there, probably. It can be farther down if it wants to be. I don't know. Current. Can I just do it like all the way? Maybe. That didn't yell at me a lot yet, but now I do still have Paranoid Eval 711. Oh, okay, but that's a different, that might be fine. Wait, okay, so what's this function? Oh, with exploration thread. This is part of the other, like kind of that lazy SMP stuff that I never really got working. So let's just comment this out for the moment. I don't think I need this function at all. Though that is actually probably going to require me to comment out more, because I have a feeling that... Oh, yeah, it was an awful comment out. I missed like half of the thing. Can I like have you comment this out for me? Wouldn't that have been really nifty? Replace with a single block comment? Nah. Definitely don't want to inline this to all callers. This is a huge function. Hey Viper Gaming. I'm making the snake game. I'm not making the snake game. There is a game called Battlesnake at play.battlesnake.com, and what you do is you basically control a snake in the classic snake game against other players, and you try to compete and be the last one alive. And so we're working on my snake for that at the moment. We're trying to keep some state in between turns so that he can be a little smarter and remember things turn to turn. So let's but right now I'm just commenting out some of my old methods because they were giving me some issues, but I wasn't actually using the code in them at the moment, so it was easier to just comment some stuff out. Or that's the plan. We're gonna see if it's easier to do this. This was all from a different kind of optimization attempt that I had been making at one point, but it never worked out amazing and isn't currently in use. Ooh, but there we go. Okay, that was actually pretty great. It doesn't like that I'm using that, but that's just a warning. And ooh, okay, we've got at least in that crate. Okay, we've got compilation there. And we have compilation elsewhere. Let's give this a minute. Okay, there we go. That's a fun one. There's a lot of error message going on here. Ooh, wait, did I run into a compiler bug? Oh, that's fun. I love compiler bugs. That is a compiler bug. I do have some errors up here anyways, but then it did const variables should not be hashed. Huh, const variables should not be hashed, okay. But let's just do like a Rust update? Is update the right words? Yeah. Ooh, you're working on building Jarvis from Iron Man, Viper Gaming. That's fun. What are you, how are you building Jarvis? Yeah, oh wow, I agree, Jonathan. That's impressive. Or maybe you're oh wowing my error, but either way, I'm impressed by working on building Jarvis from Iron Man. How are you, doing that, Viper? Gotta wait for the full rebuild now that we have a new Rust version. Hopefully that gets us past this Rust compiler error. Wow, to both. I like that, Jonathan. Perfect answer. Oh, you finished it today. Oh, that's exciting. So what is it? What does it do, Viper? Like, Jarvis is pretty like general purpose kind of in Iron Man. So what does your version of Jarvis do? Full virtual assistant style? Okay, awesome. We've got some errors, but we are not blowing up Rust anymore. So I guess upgrading the newest version of Nightly fixed that compiler error. That is kind of what I get for using some Nightly only and unstable features. So, you know, sometimes you gotta upgrade. I don't think I've ever hit a Rust compiler error like that upgrading just hasn't fixed, which is kind of nice for me. It means someone else must have already hit it before me. Okay, so let's go back to... Now we're back to my web Axum Hobbs, and I think this is where the rest of my errors are. So the cached score can't infer the value of const parameter max snakes declared on the function standard score. Interesting. Okay. Can I help you out at all? Like, can I hash rocket you to, like, wrap cell boards? And then my... Ooh, what's the cell type here? I don't remember. Can I... Oh, I probably can underscore it. Haha, I forgot. And then 4 snakes max. Cool. Yeah, so the Jarvis I made was a voice assistant which talks to you. It has about 17 features ranging from opening websites, application to automating tasks, just as making a folder or documentation. Oh, that's really cool. So is it like, you know, are you using it on your computer just to, like, you know, make some tasks easier and stuff? That's a lot of fun. I like that a lot. What have you written your Jarvis in? Okay. Awesome. Okay. So 162 here. We don't know what score closure is. That's perfectly fine. Pass in our caching score. In Python, took me about 85 hours to build. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. That's a really fun project to work on. I like that. And like a useful one too, right? It's always fun to be able to like use the things after you make them. The voice assistant seems like one that could get a lot of good usage out of. I like that idea a lot. Okay. I don't want this clone. Don't. Well, actually, what is score map? Oh, it's an atomic. It would have been fine to clone, but I don't know if I needed it. Expected struct dash map found this thing. Yeah, okay, so I actually now want to go up and change my game state because I'm holding something different than I want to be. And if we go back to my cached score thing, yeah, I want something like this. Let's go back to this Hobbs over here. There we go. Okay, except some of these aren't right. Yeah, I can do the game type. This is going to be my wrapped cell board. Score type is, I think, the score at the moment. FX builder hash I will import, and there we go. Now it knows all these things. Recently added a voice recognition system which makes Jarvis run a function based on user voice with Python libraries you use for voice recognition. I hadn't really done any work in that area. Yeah, it would be fun to know what libraries do the voice recognition and stuff, because that is a fun project. Okay, so here's my associated function. What are you actually mad about? Line 35. Can I just make this be a default? Like, does everything here know how to implement default for things under that implement default? Yes, it does. Love that. Hobbs doesn't need to know about this anymore. Oh, sure. Oh, and the library is just called speech recognition. Gotta love it. That's awesome. I think I've been getting this one before. My trade object, something's using trade object, and it won't be supported in future versions, but that's not a problem for me at the moment. Wow. Okay, did this just compiled? So is it working? Question mark? Because it seems like it might be. Like... Oh, I've got a question for you, Viper, if you know. Is that speech recognition offline, or does that, like, send it to the internet and use a, like, you know, a service to do the speech recognition? Do you know? Just curious. But my cached score thing might be working. Let's make a new branch here. Stream, it's the 4th now, I believe. At the moment, I'm working on adding a little bit more dialogue between Jarvis and the user. Oh yeah, a little bit more conversational stuff or something. That's fun. Have you heard of, what is it called? Chat GPT that's coming out of OpenAI? That has some really good conversational dialogue that I've seen. I haven't played with it much, but that's just what that made me think of, the more dialogue-y between the user and Jarvis thing. Yeah, so it's like OpenAI's newest GPT language model thing. They're calling it Chat GPT, I think. Kind of just an evolution of GPT-3, I think. But I've just seen some fun examples of people using it on Mastodon recently and getting some good conversational results. Could be interesting to look at if you're looking for that conversational kind of style. Okay, so let's just make a commit to like save some work. Maybe got a score function hashy thing working. Like, it was just kind of pretty easy to do. It does help that I already had this cached score struct laying around, which just takes in my my cache and the scoreable, and I think let's actually just look at it implementation, yeah, it just looks in the cache, looks at the entry, or inserts with calling the actual score function. Perfect. Just a nice little cachey thingy. Okay, so that's awesome, and I think it should just work. Cargo run bin webaxum. Yep, and then let's open up Mojave and at least run a local game here. See how that's looking. I believe the speech recognition is offline because all the library does is listen to the microphone each time you call it, and then get if statements, which checks whether user has said, checks what the user has said using the mic. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, an offline one sounds funner to me than an online one. Not that it like makes a big difference really, but one, it sounds fun to me to not send the audio to anyone, just because it's always sounds nicer to keep it local. But also just means that, like, you know, the local Python's doing a lot more than if it's actually all local to it, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna run local Hobbs that we just tried to do some stuff with Bob, who just goes in any direction, just as an example, see if things are actually working. Hobbs is turning, he's making moves. It looks like things are at least like happening. Nothing is blowing up immediately, which is good. And I think the next thing that I'm going to want to do is see if I can figure out, like, I need to figure out what kind of tracing I have going on for my actual live ones in DigitalOcean. And then maybe play some games, get some averages for depths and things like that, if that makes sense. And then we will try to deploy this new version, assuming it's working, and see if we can get, and see if we're getting to farther depths or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's going to be the goal. Let's stop this. We just don't need to have that running in the background, I don't think. And let's take a look and see what... So I think I have something in Honeycomb. Let's find out. So Honeycomb is my the place where I used to send all of my open telemetry traces here, I believe, or I think. So let's find out though. Oh, we have someone trying to hack into my server, hitting some admin login forms. Don't think they're gonna find anything, but more power to ya, hackers. Let's make a custom game. I just want to make sure that the logs actually fire here. Let's get Hobbs and Shapeshifter? Nah, Ziggy. Yeah, Ziggy's public right now. That'll work. I have to make it a wrapped game though, because if I don't, I will blow up. We're going to do Royale because that's the game mode for winter, and an 11 board because again, that's all Hobbs can do right now. And oh yeah, that's awesome, Viper. Trying to start a company to sell the program. That would be really fun. I hope you continue to do that. If you're still here, J Lafayette, Ziggy does look like they are not having the greatest time, if you weren't aware. That's totally okay. I will, actually, I'm just going to do it against Bob for the moment, just to get a game running. Go with Rap Royale again. Ooh, Biter. Okay, let's do Biter. I like that. Add? Did that? Okay, there we go. The interface there confused me just a bit. Let's do all three of these. That'll work. Yeah, Ziggy was timing out in, like, you know, quickly. But it seemed like it was making it to your I'm assuming DO server. And then just immediately 500ing. And then that was unfortunate for Biter. Got eliminated like immediately running into... Oh, it looks like errors as well though. So maybe it's something with the actual server, Josh, not the code, but I'm not positive at all. Okay, the real goal here was just to run some games and see if I'm seeing things here. Oh no, yeah, maybe all your snakes are down at the moment. But hopefully it's not too bad to resolve if that's the case. Okay, so I'm not getting any traces in the last 10 minutes through here. It doesn't seem like. This was at 30 minutes ago. Yeah, okay, but we should be at less than that. Okay, so am I still sending stuff to this? Let's look at the code. I do think I have code to do this, but maybe I don't have the environment variables set for DigitalOcean. That wouldn't be the craziest thing ever. Because I believe in my main axiom where I go and build, yeah, here's the stuff. If I have a Honeycomb API key, I should send traces to Honeycomb. And if I'm not right now, I think I can fix that. I'm assuming that just means I need to add a Honeycomb API key environment variable to somewhere. And then, I'm just not exactly sure where I want to put this environment variable or where I would have put this environment variable in DigitalOcean. There we go. But I can take a look at that in just a second. We also see which Rust log we're gonna get. Tower HTTP debug. Okay, so we're supposed to get some Tower HTTP messages here, unless my Rust log variable is set to something else as well. So that would be a good thing to check on. And I don't think I think I'm deploying just by copying over the executable to the server. So I think I would probably have to SSH into the server here and do some investigating that way, which we'll probably do in just a second. But need to catch up on chats. Oh yeah, that's understandable, Viper. I hope you can make something out of this program or another program and stuff. Totally understand not wanting to work at a not fun retail job. But you're in your second year of university, so that is also great. Hopefully, giving you some other things to do here soon, maybe. Okay, so yeah, I definitely need to figure out what's going on with these things getting to Honeycomb, because it does not look like they are making it, which is reasonable. Let's see if I get any. Okay, yeah, so it's not been getting many events since November 24th, which was probably about the 2 weeks ago when I was doing stuff. So I might have actually broken it moderately recently. So let's maybe investigate what I had done. So it's not in this commit, but it's probably in the commit before it. It's probably this one. Okay, so not that one. Oh wait, commits. Wait, when did I say it seemed like it might have happened? November 24th. After the 24th, I don't have any events. Okay. That was the 20th though. Is it just that things are taking a while to come in here, or did I actually make them disappear? But like, I see some things here. Like, I have Axiom requests with Web Axiom, and these came in today. Okay, so things are coming in, but not everything. I wonder if I have a Rust log environment variable set somewhere. Let's see. I think I should be able to SSH into my box. Okay. I think I am going to turn on secrets mode for just a moment, because I don't remember off the top of my head where the environment variables are going to live, and I don't know if secrets are going to be on screen, so I'm going to stay in secrets mode here for just a moment. Hopefully secrets mode is working correctly, and I don't have to go rotate everything. I guess 1Password's nice, and it probably didn't show you anything anyways. Okay, so here is all of this information. Oh, and we're getting logs in okay, so maybe it's just not sending to Honeycomb, because it looks like I'm getting logs in I'm getting it as logs. If I'm getting it as logs, that means I probably don't have a Honeycomb API key set. So that would be reasonable. Let's see, if I do this, I think it'll tell me. Oh yeah, I forgot that no one can see my screen at the moment, but that's okay. I just have to remember. Let's look at this file. Etc. System. I want to look at oh, terrarium has state degraded. Huh, I'm not sure that's actually telling me what I think it's telling me, but that's okay. Is there like an edit here? There's the statuses, installing things, just figuring out what the best way to. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's edit this file. Let's just actually look at it first, I think. System D. And then it's in system terrarium. Okay, there is, yeah, okay, so there is a Honeycomb API key set. So why would it, so it should say, oh, with logging. Oh, okay, so am I doing logging as well? Yeah, and it's JSON format. Okay, so it is, oh, well, actually, I'm not doing JSON logs, but that's okay. So it should be sending to Honeycomb, and I don't have a Rust log, so it should be still doing that. Oh, that's the thing that I broke. I forgot. Okay. I think the thing that I broke is that it's not going through. No, but I have some of my tracing. I have tracing stuff like in here, right? Yeah. These are wrapped with info, with spans. Like these have info things on them somewhere, don't they? Like info bang. Or there's one, but like they all commented out? No, like there's a info bang that's not commented out. This game is over, no need to keep going. Is that the only time though? I thought there was gonna be more. Yeah, like current span. Yeah, like I'm doing current span things. We're doing chosen direction. Okay, so why is this not actually making it to Honeycomb? Oh, okay. I think I can close one password. That API key's still there. Let's get off of the terrarium box. And let's put this back in this mode so everyone can join me again. Thanks for hanging out while I was in secret mode. But I don't actually know what's going on with my tracing, and I don't know why I'm just like not seeing the requests I think I should be. Does this like tell me much about the server that they're coming from? Because I do also have a server hosted on fly.io that these that could still be reporting here. Actually, let's check that out. Let's go to fly and then apps and then fly like secrets. Yeah, list. Yeah, and this has a Honeycomb API key as well, so this one could be the one that's reporting to Honeycomb right now, because it still has an API key. But like, why would it have completely broken? but let's see what I did here. I think in this thing, I ripped out a lot of my code for reporting the things and replaced it with the tower HTTP stuff, which like isn't crazy except for the fact that it might have broken things. So let's take a look at that. What was I doing before and what am I doing now? Here's where we give it some routing. Here's where we... Okay, so before I was doing this log request thing myself, and now we're doing the trace layer. Here's the log request, and this is... yeah, what was giving it like a Axum request? Do I see like... okay, so Axum request. So this is definitely... oh, from log request, yeah. So this is definitely the old stuff. So is it that we aren't sending... but like if I... but even locally, I saw more... there was more here than that. Like I could do the status. Or is it log? Like was there a way to... didn't I see the logs in this a second ago? Like it definitely did. Okay, don't have that on my clipboard anymore. But I also shouldn't need it because I can just do that. That was the journal thing. Go back up until I see that. There we go, that one. Sending traces to Honeycomb. Yeah, okay. It definitely thinks it's doing that. But these are old, June 5th. Those are very, very old. Can I just restart you? Okay, gotta open this up again, but I think I can do this without secrets. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Is there like a go to the bottom? Like why can't I... why... I feel like these ones are definitely not the most recent ones. I want like the most recent ones instead of follow. Of course it's not tail. Why would it be tail? June 5th though. Like that's not now. So is it not logging these things? Show the newest entries first. There we go. Oh, okay. Newest entries first. These still aren't showing me the entries I expected to be seeing. All of this was really just so that I could see if this is making Hobbs better or worse, because I lost my tracing. That was giving me all this good information before. Why are we not reporting anything? Okay, so Rust, HTTP tracing, open telemetry, is like the but like I don't see anything underneath traces either, like because I'm doing manual ones at some point that aren't log request or Axum request, so they seem like they're just getting swallowed essentially, because like this has a current span thing up at the top. We like get the we get a current span. Oh, but what if I don't... if the scrubber indicates that it does not track the current span, or that the thread from which this function is called the returned span will be disabled. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so like, am I getting disabled spans here? That seems potentially possible. So how would I go about getting something better out of this? Because if I run this, like if I just go cargo, run, webaxum, we get some reasonable enough request logs out of it here. Like, that's at least giving me something. Let's see if it's like helpful, but either way, this is information that I'm just not getting in Honeycomb. Like, I don't get this started processing requests. These are debugs. So these are debugs on Tower HTTP, which I think I'm telling it in my Axum package down here. I'm telling it I want debug logs from Tower HTTP. I could just say that I want debug logs from everything. I feel like that might be too many things though. This might just be a lot more information than I need. Yeah, because now like Hyper's giving me debug logs. I don't need Hyper's debug logs. Yeah, that's a little excessive for my logging. Oh, you know what I could do is I could make a new Honeycomb API key and try sending things locally. That would be a better way to debug, and then I can go from there. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to secrets mode again, because I think we are getting some API keys on screen in just a second. Let's make a new yeah, everything really did stop here. Like, I'm not getting much after November 24th, basically. Yeah, okay. So where is my API keys? Don't remember. Team settings, maybe? Yeah. Manage my API keys. View API keys. Yeah, okay, so here's Deuterium. Yep, we're in secrets mode. Awesome. Local. Shit, can do everything. Sure. Locals. Okay. Copy that key. Let's get out of here. Okay. I should then be able to go to my editor here. Think I have an... Do I have an envlocal file to drop this in? I do not have anything like that. Okay, but I can just do this. Export Honeycomb API key equals this. And then clear it. And then run my webaxum. And there we go, except... Oh, okay. That's fine, but I'm getting way more information there than I want. So let's go back to this, where libhoney only gives me warn information. Okay, sending traces to Honeycomb. Okay. Okay, and we can be back now. But we see that we're sending traces to Honeycomb. So if I run this, like, we should see... Yeah, so we're getting some debugs for Tower HTTP, some on requests. We're getting some stuff here. We get some latencies and some statuses. That's looking good. Okay, so then if we stop that, did these like make it to Honeycomb at all? In the last 10 minutes, did things happen? No, I am not seeing things in the last 10 minutes. Could be just waiting on those to actually come in, because that definitely could be. But I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, so it is just gonna send it to the battle snakes. Um, you know, thing here. But I really don't know why we're not getting this data at all. And like, we see stuff coming here, so these events should be publishing to Honeycomb. And this was working before, so this isn't something that I feel like should be broken with stuff I've added. But obviously, it is seeming to be broken, so something is up. But I don't even really know where I wanna dig in, because we like get sending traces over here, and they just aren't showing up right now. Yeah, and these are like all coming from the old stuff. Oh, sorry, Joshua was missing some messages. Did the team make any changes to the game state since Fall League? There was just, I don't know if the JSON changed, and I'm not having issues, but I do think there was just a new game update, recently in Discord that they posted about. I think it was more getting ready for new JSON changes, but I didn't think they had made any. But I'm not positive. But again, my things, I don't think I made any changes to the JSON since Fall League. So, not 100% sure. If you, like, mine would handle additive fields, it would just ignore them. So maybe if yours doesn't, they could have added a new field. But I'm not positive. I really don't know what's going on with my honeycombs here, and I kind of want to keep figuring it out, but I'm also not really sure what's going on, and I kind of want to just see if the changes we made have an effect. So let's see if I can... Jaguar is up. What about Big Slamu? No, I'll do Jaguar though. Let's do a wrapped game against Jaguar with Royale on a medium board. And let's just see how the game goes here. Oh, okay, so Jaguar just had a timeout there. That's not crazy, just scared me that all the competitors were having some issues today. So let's watch this game, and like, it's gonna be hard to know whether Hobbs is getting significantly better without this tracing, though. We'll have to figure that out, but maybe we will just, let's let this game go, and we'll watch it in a minute. And I think what we're gonna do here is, okay, we've already done this. Let's push up this branch and get a PR open so that I can get this deployed. And we will see if it's, it just seems better. Cache scores between turns. Create a draft pull request, and let's actually just look at our diff here too. We are gonna do linting and testing NCI here. We had FX hash in a few places. The cached score now uses the FX build hasher in with dash map. That's easy enough though. Okay, here's where lots of things happened. Oh, I think most of this is actually just me commenting out code. Yeah, the one thing I did is I did the scoping here, which seems to just be working. Yeah, good luck, Josh. Let me know if you need any assistance or if you want me to push some games, or I guess feel free to push some games with any of my snakes if you need to do some testing. Cool. Okay, so all the real, like, here's the meat of the diff. Instead of doing standard score directly in Hobbs, we now make a cached thingy with the score map that we're saving between turns. And then we just pass that down as the scoring function, and it should just work, which is pretty cool. So I like that it's just gonna work. I really would also like to know the different depths I'm getting to, though, because that's like super fun information to have, and it just helps me understand better. But like, it's just not getting here. Is it just that it isn't no, like I see them here. Sending to Honeycomb. And like I see the same things getting logged out. Is it that like, no, that doesn't really make sense. Like, since they're logging, they're not sending to Honeycomb, but I don't think that's the case, and that's not something I've really changed at all. Trace layer new for HTTP. Yeah, these just like, Rust, trace, layer, Honeycomb. Yeah. Rust trace layer for HTTP. It's like from tower. Yeah, it's this. It's new for HTTP, makes span width, so like I can on request. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. I can give it a different level. I do like that, so I could add this. Okay, let's try that. I think this is gonna help, not a ton, but it's an interesting idea. On request, make it an info. And then up here, I can maybe stop telling you to do debugs. Because now, oh, okay. Yep, I can give you an import wherever you are. Where are you? Boop. Try that again. Oh, okay. Sure. Tracing level. Yeah, not from log. Okay. Yep, okay, so that's at least sending or that's at least doing that now. And I think I want to do the same thing, though, on response. Yeah. Let's do that as well. Default on response gets imported. That gets imported. Cool, so I like changing these to info logs instead of debug logs. That just seems better. Matches what I want more. There we go. Okay. Am I getting doubles now? Or no, I'm running 2 snakes at once. Got it. I don't actually want micros though. I want millis. It's not a big deal, but we will specify explicitly what I'm looking for. And start the game. Maybe I do want it in micros though, because then I get more precision. I think millis are fine for the moment. I don't think I need more than a millisecond precision here. Okay. Are these making it to Honeycomb? The answer is probably not. No, they definitely are not. And I'm not searching for anything, right? Like, I'm not at all. I'm just saying... And this is looking at duration, milliseconds. But that might not be what it's called anymore, so that would be reasonable, because it's gonna send it with latency. But like, I'm not even seeing any raw traces. Like, these are not the right ones. So, like, I just don't know what's happening to these and why they're not getting... Here's something that we should do. Let's try to deploy the newest code to fly, which I don't think I've done in a while, which isn't bad or anything necessarily, but that I think is the one that's still reporting moderately correctly. And let's just try putting the newest stuff there and seeing what happens. It's sending way more over there than I would have wanted it to. What's in my Docker ignore? Thought that would have been good enough. What are you sending across the wire right now? Oh. The archive folder. Yeah, that was it. So the archive folder is like a game archive of like lots of games that I was archiving for a while. Not like a ton of games for machine learning, but you know, enough that it was, I think I have like a gig or two of them, and I definitely don't want to send that all over the wire to Docker to build things. So now we're just gonna build this for fly, and we'll see if that will report things any better to Honeycomb. It totally might not, but it might. Failed to load manifest for workspace member types. Ah, so my Docker file's probably out of date. Yeah. Types. 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 Is that better? Nope. Failed to load manifest for workspace member types. Ah. Man. No such file or directory. Types. Oh, of course. Okay. I really need to make a tool that does this because it would be so much nicer. Wait, do I just have a... No, I think I need to do this. This becomes Sherlock. So what I really want to do is create a tool that I could like easily use in Docker files to do all of this for me. Nope, this is actually one of these. The reason that would be really nifty is because right now I have to do this for every crate I have in my workspace. And that's just really annoying, and I have to like remember to change the Docker file when I add a new crate to my workspace, which like isn't ideal. But it looks like we are making progress here now. Now we're finally actually building the thing. Okay, and actually I do think though that when I was looking at this, did this fail oh, it fails a lint. That's easy. That should be easy to fix. Ooh, what do we... Variables can be used directly in the format string. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Min-max return line 191, min-max return line 191. Oh, problems. Will you just fix this for me? Extract format args? No. I think I just do. I think that's what it wants. Yeah. Variables can be used directly. Oh, okay. Delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. Tree node. This label score. Except you spell label right. And then this is moving snake ID. And got a lot of these. That's what happens when I upgrade Clippy. Or I upgrade Rust and everything comes along with it. It'd be nicer if these had like auto fixes. Current turn. So we can go backwards from the way I want, but I can't go forwards. That's funny. I love that I just did this format in every single place instead of freaking doing anything else, putting it in a method. There's like so many different options and I chose none of them apparently. The ellipse, this one can be elided. Okay, cool. This is just tedious, but shouldn't take too long, I'm hoping. I guess we could also check on this in the meantime. Pushing. Cool. Just deploying to fly. Almost there. Okay. Turn, and then winning moves is over here. Hey, Backward Spy, how is it going? Having a good time streaming after being gone for a bit. How is your Sunday going? We are working on continuing what we had worked on a few weeks ago. And we were working on keeping state for things in between turns. And I think what we got done today was getting a transposition for my scores done. So if I score a board state, if I see that same board state again, I don't have to redo the score and can just use the cached score. And since I'm keeping that cache between turns and with my iterative deepening and stuff, I actually do expect to see the same game state. So really hoping this has a improvement there. The thing that we're actually working on right now is trying to figure out what happened to my tracing so that I could actually understand why things got, or if I'm getting to deeper depths or something with the new code. And for some reason, I'm not getting any tracing, and I did make some changes 2 weeks ago to some of that code, but it's still confusing me why things aren't getting to Honeycomb, so we're trying to debug that, but we're not having the best luck. So there's a good chance I'm just gonna deploy this, and we're gonna just try it out with some games and see what happens, and I guess we'll see how the Winter Championship goes next week and see if Hobbs does good, and if so, we might call this a success. Right now we just ran into some clippy lints, so fixing those. We upgraded the Rust version, so had some new lints to fix. Nothing crazy, just had to do them manually. Okay, let's see. Okay, so, okay, that's the Clippy failing. There we go, that's running again. I did, though, just get fly deployed. Okay, so, if we go back to Battlesnake and we look at my snakes, I definitely think some are still pointed to fly. Let's check that. I'm not going to go to secrets for this. Oh, no, that is pointed to DigitalOcean. Are any of these still pointed at fly? Did I move them all over? Arthur's still pointed at lambdas. That's funny. Haven't been using that one for a while. Okay, so most of these I think are actually not using that, but that's fine. We can point something to fly and just see what happens. Let's grab my URL for fly and plug that into like Bombastic Bob. If we're using the URL, we probably want S. I don't really need latency too much with Bob. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So now let's create a game with Bob and Hobbs. Just to try it out. We'll go with Royale. Start game. And okay, they're both working. Bombastic Bob's got some, decent latency because we're in a different region and everything. Not bad, just 60 milliseconds. Okay, so now, is anyone gonna report anything to Honeycomb? The answer is seeming like no. We're not gonna report anything to Honeycomb, but we're gonna give the game a minute to think. We'll play it all the way through. Maybe there's latency to get the traces. That wouldn't be crazy. We're not looking for real-time traces necessarily. Okay. Hobbs 1, that's not surprising. Bombastic Bob just moves random directions. But are we gonna... Yeah, okay. So I think this might be something I will check in on offline and mess with my tracing, because this wasn't working great. Backwards by advent of code has been fun so far. I've mostly been doing Python solutions with some Rust sprinkled in. Ooh, yeah, so I haven't looked at any advent of code yet. Like I was saying in Discord, let's do this. For anyone who is hanging out who doesn't know, you can come hang out in this Discord server I'm setting up. And like I was saying in there for Advent of Code, I'm going to try to make some videos of how I'm working through the Advent of Code problems. But I just got back from vacation last night, so I haven't made any of those yet. And I want to start with the day one. So I'm going to try to get caught up in the next, week here or so. But I haven't taken a look at Advent of Code, but I'm very excited to. Okay, cool. That makes me feel pretty good, Josh. If you did the first 4 days last night, and got all caught up, gives me some hope that I can also get caught up without stressing out too much about it. So that's good. I was hoping that getting just the first few days behind wouldn't be the worst behind ever. So happy that might work out for me. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with this tracing. I think I'm gonna kind of move on from that for the moment, just because I don't think I have a great idea. I don't really think I have a great idea of what to debug next, and I think it's gonna be a bit of secrets and API keys and config and that kind of stuff. So a little harder to stream and potentially less exciting. J Lafayette says, of course I was writing terribly ugly Python code as fast as possible, but it only took a couple of hours. Awesome, yeah, so we'll see how it ends up. I'm going to do them in Rust, probably. It's what I've been doing most things in, and we're going to probably take a little bit more time than just trying to speed through them, because I'm going to try to do them, on video, and we're going to try to explain as we go. So maybe a little slower, but I think I should be able to get caught up. But I guess we'll find out when we get started. Maybe I will try to do the first day later this evening or this afternoon, I think would be my plan. But let's get back to this. I think I'm just going to deploy this code. We got the green check mark here. So I think we're just gonna deploy it and see what happens. Let's mark it as ready for review. And then I think I'm just gonna do it. Go. Backwards Spy says, I found Rust and Python's functional idioms really nice for the problem so far. Pretty much everything is solvable with map, filter, and sum. Yeah, I've haven't seen these ones yet, but I do feel like those get you quite a good ways in Advent of Code in the past. And I have seen people post about these a little bit. I've tried not to read the articles or read their threads too much, but I've seen lots of iterator talk for these first days, and that makes sense to me with the map filters and sums. Ooh, going for the speed this year, Josh. I like that. That's always fun. Got to do something different. And yeah, I will definitely be posting my answers to GitHub as well. I probably have an Advent of Code repo that I will either create a new. Actually, I'll check out what I've got for Advent of Code. I think I have my previous years in a repo, probably with a. Oh, actually, no. So I've been doing... Okay, so I've done separate years. So I guess I will probably make a 2022 one as well later today. And it will definitely be public. And will hopefully link to videos and all that as well once I get some of those posted to YouTube. That is definitely the plan. So I will share my repo and stuff once it exists. Backwards Spy says, I flip-flop between trying a nice commented modular solution and then doing it all in one line, but I try to push a reasonably clean solution each time. Yeah, it's always, it's fun to go back and forth, right? Sometimes it's fun just to hack it together, but then maybe refactor it after. I guess that's my style. I'm actually missing one there. Only the first problem has a Rust solution so far. Oh, so you're doing them in both Backwards Spy. I see. I didn't click the link, and I think I misunderstood earlier. That's pretty cool then. I like the... I'm definitely gonna have to check out and compare the two. That's really fun. Okay, what was I doing? I kind of got distracted. Oh yeah, I was just deploying this. Cool, that's easy. Let's just check out Circle and see how it's deploying. Awesome. Okay, we're building, and then we will... Oh, I have benchmarks. Oh, except these aren't benching the right things. But I should just... Why am I making this harder for myself? I should just get a benchmark set up for the thing I want to benchmark. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a much better idea. Ooh, thanks for sharing yours as well, Josh. So I do also agree that it's always fun to look at other solutions. Except I am gonna try to get mine. So I do try to getting a version done first before I look at others, but I think that's pretty reasonable. Okay, well, I could get a benchmark set up, but I definitely don't have one set up now. And since I need a between turn thing, I don't have an amazing idea of how I'd want to benchmark that. So it really does seem like the best thing is just to get some real games working. But of course, I don't have my logging, but that's okay. We're just gonna let it ride. I guess the other thing that would have been nice if I was entered in some battlegrounds before, we could have seen how Hobbs did in comparison, but Hobbs actually is not in any of the battlegrounds at the moment. So let's get Bob in some Wrapped Royale, yeah. Because this is what we are gonna be doing. So let's get Hobbs and Wrapped Royale to get some games running. Oh, look at that. We got Jaguar at the top here above Shapeshifter. Joined 3 days, 9 hours ago. Joined 3 days, 11 hours ago. Oh, okay. So that's a real one too, it looks like. Not even just a Jaguar got in there first. Woohoo, I'm excited for this winter championship here soon. Should be exciting. Backwards Spy says, I actually started doing some in Go as well, but I ran into a couple of issues. Writing in 3 languages for each problem does add some overhead, and I also felt a little limited by certain aspects of the language. Might just be my inexperience, though. Yeah, that's fair. Doing them in three languages does seem, I guess maybe once you've solved it once, it's definitely easier for the other languages, but I could see how three would definitely add some overhead. And yeah, I think it's just my inexperience with Go as well, but I've always found limited by certain things. But I do really just think it's me not knowing Go very well either. But I definitely understand that feeling. Okay, so we are just doing this. Oh, cool, it deployed. Let's go make some games. Let's just at least see some stuff happen. Maybe we'll just start winning every game ever. Would be a good outcome. I don't think it'll happen, but hey, I would take it. Let's do another game against Jaguar here. Latency is about the same. That's pretty expected. I wouldn't have expected it to be different. Ooh, one thing I do want to look at in a minute is the profiling and see if I see dash map or FX hash map in that, because that would be interesting. Josh says, I like translating my previous answers in a new language as a way to learn it. That makes sense, though. I like that. I don't think I've done that too much. I think when I've been learning new ones with Advent of Code, I've usually just done them in that language from scratch, but I think that's a really good idea to do them in a language you know or, are a little more familiar with and then translate afterwards. That's a really cool idea. Okay, so we do have these benches running. We also have the profiles running. These are what I actually want to look at. Oh, except, again, I need to, if I want that to do anything, I definitely do need to actually put the stuff in the benchmark, because I don't think I am at the moment. Because, in Hobbs right now, we have this from function, but I could make it a new and then I think it just has a default. I think this just wants default. Cool. And then the thing I can do is I can go and get a let score map equals a default. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little it'll be confused for the moment, but let cached score equal cached score new standard score map standard score underscore 4. Really thought that was gonna work. What are you mad at right now? 10 problems. Oof. Oh, okay. Some of these are not real. Can't satisfy underscore cached score takes a scoreable and a cache. Yeah, okay. That's the scoreable. Oh wait, this is arcade May. That's fine though, actually. I didn't tell it what thing that was. I didn't really mean to do it in arcade maze, but that's fine. What's funny is I'm actually using standard score. This isn't even quite right for arcade maze. It's just funny. Oh, that was easy. And then these just aren't expanded. That's just Rust Analyzer being silly. Okay, so is that benchmark a little better then? I just under the name, we do this, and we do this, and then this just becomes, danger word cached score. This one also becomes cached score. Expected, these ones want to say new, and then they need a default because that signature is a little different. Default. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now I just let's just cargo build bench Hobbs. Make sure it builds. Okay, there we go. It builds. Get a new bench working with the cached score to see if there is a ton of overhead. I don't think there should be, but I'm very curious to see if we see a difference. And like we also could just see a difference in the benchmarks because we are doing some iterative deepening. Yep, so like this actually could make some difference in the benchmarks too. Even though we're not doing it in between turns, we still could see a difference. So this is actually a really decent test, especially because I can't get it to actually get stats for real games. Oh, Hobbs did get some 500s at the end here. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe want to look at those at some point. Hobbs stayed really small this whole game too, and then just threw some 500s at the end. Do we think it's still 500ing? Nope, back to normal. Not sure what that was. Maybe the deploy going through? That doesn't actually make sense, but hopefully it's a blip. Backward spy. From my newbie perspective, I feel like elegant algorithmic stuff can be difficult or at least pretty verbose in Go, since you'll often need to implement all the data types yourself if map array aren't enough. It's a feature that I find in some domains end up with a very nice, straightforward, and easy read code, but in others adds a lot of overhead and noise. Some of the additive code problems so far fall into the later camp. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, I think that is something that I find about Go that like is different for me, is that some of the things I expected to be built in weren't, and I was making lots of little like specific helper functions for things and data types. Though I think some of that's a bit potentially better with Go generics, but I'm also not really positive about that at all. There's another 500, so probably gonna want to fix something about those before the tournament, because definitely don't want to just be throwing 500s and getting losses because of that. That would definitely be worse than any speed improvements I think that I could have made. So definitely something to look into there. Yeah, like, ooh, oof, oh no, oh no. You gonna recover, Hobbs, or are we just gonna... Yeah, something went wrong. And now we're just like broken, essentially. Yeah, Josh, that's the stuff that I was talking about, like little like min and max functions yourself. And do you do a little bit more Go, I think, right? Has that gotten better with generics? You don't need to write your own min for everything. Because I remember that when we were doing some of that map stuff together, Josh, right? We had lots of those little like helper functions for things that just seemed a little silly to need helper functions for. Okay, so this isn't good though, that we're just blowing up everywhere. Can we get back on my box? And these are still... Is it like just think that time is just completely wrong? No. You're currently not seeing messages from other users. One password. There we go. Okay. Oh. Process was killed by the out-of-memory killer. Ooh, am I actually using more memory than I have before? That would be interesting. It seems like maybe. Oh, okay. Josh, you haven't used Go since they added generics. Yeah, that's reasonable. Me neither. That would be I would be interested to look into that though and just see if things have gotten nicer there. Maybe go. Actually, that would be kind of fun eventually. Maybe go back to some of those maps and just see how things could be cleaned up with some generics. Okay, so this is working. We get logs now. So I definitely was just getting out of memory before. This is fun. Are we actually using a lot of memory for this map? Like that would be the point and everything. But I don't know. Ooh, okay, this is a fun one. I'm gonna have to go into this mode for 10 seconds because I need to get a recovery code from my, or not a recovery, a two-factor code from my phone, but my phone is also the camera that I'm using. So I'm gonna go away for just a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, we should be back now. I got into DigitalOcean here, and I want to just see... Yeah, look at that! We actually are using a lot of memory now. That's actually great. Okay, so I think something that we are going to have to do eventually is worry about getting things out of this map, which I kind of just, like, forgot about. Which is definitely something that we're going to have to think about. The hash is just potentially just going to get really big, it looks like. And it looks like we're running out of memory. And I've got 4 gigs of RAM, but I was remembering, I think P-Eater maybe was saying how much memory they use for their stuff, and it's a lot more than that, potentially. So, wouldn't be crazy to me that was the issue here. And yeah, we again, oh no, failed with result. This one got killed by this one got sent to kill process, but again, that could be because it ran out of memory, and that was how it decided to get killed, but I'm not positive about that. But this is definitely the most memory. Yeah, like I'm usually at 25% memory without breaking a sweat, but here we're jumping up. Okay, so this is a fun one. This is definitely related to memory. We're gonna have to work on evicting things from this cache for sure. But let's actually see how these profiles look on... Oh, it's still running here? Okay. Should be getting close though, I think. Hopefully. Yeah, Hobbs got... Wait, so are we in profile? Yeah, let's look at benching. And let's see, because we probably have some results before we get the actual HTML reports ready. Okay. Hobbs. This is a prime, Devin. Oh, okay. We'll wait for the HTML. It's easier. I think I still just needed the full report. Report index. There we go. That's Devin. Here we go. Okay. Hobbs. Fixture start of game. Okay, so then this is the newer one. And let's see if I can also open up an older one from... Let's go with a main from here. Let's look at this. Oh, that's not the right one. Rattlesnake. Main. Here, this one. Let's look at this. Benchmark. Artifacts. Report. Hobbs start of game. Okay, so we've got 50, 150. So this is the old one. The new one's underneath 5200. Ooh, see that? So that's slower. And this is slower too. We're at like 55 versus like 40 something. Okay, so I'm thinking this actually might have made stuff slower, at least in this example. And I'm interested to see if we see that in the profiles here. This is the new one, right? Yep. Hobbs wrapped. Yeah, okay, so here is, we definitely see it. Here's our thing. Here's the cache map. Yeah, okay, so then here we have hashing. Wait, as core hash. Ooh, that's interesting. I shouldn't. Why am I doing it with core hash? I should be doing it with fx hash. So that is part of it for sure. As core hash. Yeah, I don't think I wound up doing core hash, and I thought I wasn't, but that's interesting. But here the insert has reserve rehash. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely gonna be an issue here, is resizing my hash map and putting things into it. Insert with, yeah, Okay, so we definitely do see it, and that might not be the best. And this whole resizing thing isn't the best either. We definitely want it to like have a max size probably and just start evicting older things when we get there, but that might be a thing for not today, I'm thinking, just because that is a little bit more than I think I want to look into today. Oh man, yeah, so Hobbs really, oh man, Hobbs is having a bad time right now. Oh, is it just down right now? The status. I could restart it. That's not bad, but I want to look at its status first, and then I'll restart it. Yeah. Restart. Okay, and now it's running. Now I should be able to do a rematch. But again, I'm definitely about to run out of memory again, and then I'm definitely going to crash again. So this isn't sustainable, but we will leave this for a little bit and just let it be, I think. But it doesn't look like this is gonna make Hobbs alone a lot better. There's definitely some more pieces that we need to look into here to make this more feasible, I think. But you know, it's working okay here. And does this actually give me any memory information? Oh, it does. There we go. We're using a gig in the last minute. Yeah, that's something. That's pretty significant, really. 2 gigs now. Yeah, okay. Yep. Yep, that's why we're gonna run out of memory really quickly. Okay, that's super interesting. We're not even a turn in. We're not even like 100 turns in, and we're already using 2 gigs of memory here. Now it's staying around 2. It has not grown quite a bit, but I guess it's probably going in jumps, right? Like it's gonna make it big enough that it doesn't need to allocate for a bit, and then it'll allocate and keep doing it like that. Yeah, and I guess that's fair. There's just a ton of game states. Like, another thing that would be interesting would be to, like, count the number of entries in the thing to see... Oh, wow, okay. And there we go. That's when we got out of memory. Yeah, so it's like it doesn't even last a full game before it gets out of memory and just starts throwing errors. Wow, okay. Do I leave it like this? Probably not, right? Okay, so let's look at rust dash map. And can I Is there a way to like make this have a size or something potentially? Retain elements whose predicate returns true and discard elements with false. With shard amount. Should be greater than 0 power 2. I don't know about that. With capacity, yeah, so like I could. Yeah, okay, so the starting capacity thing is something I might want to do to pre-allocate, but that's not really the thing that I'm looking for. I really want like a just uses shrink to fit. No, because like I'm not just trying to do that. I really do just want a rust evict old hash map. I really just want to get rid of old things. Flash map, a lock-free, partially weight-free, eventually consistent concurrent hash map. Okay, so this is the same thing, and almost as cheap as reading from these. Same as used by whatever this is. Frequent small weights that can't be batched, concurrent write access for multiple threads. Reasonable, but none of these. This isn't about getting things out of it. Doesn't look like with the specified capacity. Yeah, I want to like a least recently used cache. That's basically what I want. I want something like that. But like I don't want to build it ourselves at the moment, but that makes sense. Okay, so I know the goal, but I think what I'm gonna need to do is we need to figure out some way to get things out of the cache. How can I get things out of the cache easily? Yeah, I'm not really sure what the best way to do this is, but I think I know the problem, so let's actually make an issue in GitHub, and we will come back to this. Score map gets too large and out of memories. We need a way to remove old items from our cache so that it doesn't keep growing exponentially. So it doesn't keep growing exponentially. The other thing that I think we might need to do, which actually this one I might look at right now because I just had this thought, is in our Hobbs down here. Nope, none of that was what I wanted. In our Hobbs in WebAxum, in the end method for a game. Right now we just don't do anything, but what I think we want to do is I want game ID. Yeah, so I think I can say that I want both of these in the end. And then I can do something like this where this is removed. Remove by the game ID. I don't think I'm gonna get I don't know if I get this. Let's find out. I just don't remember. Cargo Run with Axum. Let's open Mojave again, start game. And I think basically now I just actually want to wait and see if we blow up when the game ends, which hopefully isn't too long. Bob usually doesn't last amazingly long. That was interesting. Something froze for a second, but we're back. Of course, Bob's going to last for way longer than I need him to at the moment, just to spite me. But let's also look at my memory, because we should be able to see Axum spiking up here if it's using a lot. Using a bit, but way less than it was using in DigitalOcean, I feel like. Yeah, that's so interesting. I'm using like under, like I'm not even using a gig yet. Now we're at 300 megabytes, but we're 100 turns. Okay, there we go. Now it's jumping up. It's that it's just gonna like double in size basically every time. And then once it gets to a double, that's gonna try to take up 4. It just won't work, which is really pretty fair. Okay, there we go. Cool, it doesn't look like that errored, which means we do probably get a game object. Okay, so that works. So then we can, that at least clear out games from the app state when they finish. That'll help a bit, but I still think I'm using two, like I'm not gonna hit that first. The easy answer is I can actually do this for the moment in DigitalOcean. I think I actually can probably go to this button and I can probably upgrade for a week or so to one with more RAM. Resizing can take up to 1 minute per gigabyte of data used. That's fine. We'll go up to 4 vCPUs with 8 gigs of RAM. You must turn off your droplet before resizing it. Oh, okay. That's fine. I didn't really want to do that, but I can do that. Yeah, okay, so I could go to a memory optimized. I get 16. Oh yeah, because I don't really need the 4 vCPUs here. Like, I'm just not using it, so I could keep on 2 and go all the way to 16 for the same price instead of going to 4. I might want to do that. Let's turn this off for the moment. Turn it off. Let's go to a memory optimized one here. And let's see if it does better with 16 gigs of RAM instead of 4. So I think this is more about the disk time. Yeah, okay, that's why that was so quick. That's what I expected. Turn this back on. Hopefully everything just boots up for me by default, but I guess I don't remember if that's gonna happen. We're gonna hope so, though. Let's see if this works still. Yeah, that is what I was a little bit worried about. I forgot about that. I don't think the tail scale thing comes up by default, but does the actual server? Okay, it does. Server's up. I just can't SSH into it right now, which is like, you know, I'll survive for the moment. Here's this memory graph. We should see it go up a bit, but I hope we don't get out of memoried now. And the other thing that should happen is once the deploy that I just pushed happens, when the game ends, we should drop a lot of memory. So if this is working nicely, which I don't, oh, there we go. That got out of memoried, because that's definitely what happened here. which is kind of crazy actually. Does that mean it was still using the 16, or did something else happen? Not positive what that is actually telling me. This is, yeah, this is not ready for doing the deploy here yet. Didn't think that was going to be, and actually I think that's probably going to fail because I don't think that's going to be able to do this. Oh wait, maybe that just was actually taking some time to turn on. Oh, okay, cool. No, everything is good here. Oh, and now we're about to do this deploy. Awesome. Okay, so we are about to do the version that's supposed to clear out the memory when we end a game. I assume these 500s were that again. We're running out of memory, but hard to say for sure, I guess. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Okay, yeah. Right now it's just using like a tiny bit of memory. I don't think a game's run at all. Let's do a rematch. Yep, there we go. Yeah, using more memory, which is what I expected. Yeah, we're already at half a gig. We're gonna keep growing. We have 16 gigs available now. So let's just, we're gonna, oh man, okay. We hit a gig in under 40 seconds. Yeah, this is just massive. Such a big game train. I just like don't even think about it. So that's probably, there's a reasonable chance the 16 gigs still isn't enough. Like we're at 2 now. At 88 turns, yeah, this is just gonna get massive. But I also don't need the ones from the beginning. Like, there's no way I'm gonna hit those game states anymore. So I definitely can prune this pretty aggressively. But I don't know exactly how the best way to implement that is gonna be. Yeah, I think something based on turns. If I like record in the map both the actual score and the turn we got to it from or something, maybe. Oh, okay, so that didn't, I don't think that got out of memory. And it did drop the memory once the game ended, so that's interesting. But I guess the biggest thing is I don't know why it didn't, or like why it 500'd. And I don't know if it's gonna tell me. Okay, well, so there are some 500s that don't seem to be from the out of memory. But some of them were, so I guess it's, so now it's not going to crash, but we're still going to get some 500s, it seems. So, okay, definitely some stuff to work on here. We definitely didn't get this 100% working, but we did get it doing some stuff. Here, we're following, all the requests are working. We can see the memory that we're using. It will drop when the game ends, which is good. Back to the DigitalOcean dashboard. We can see that, yeah, now that I have a lot more memory, we're not even getting close to using all of it, which is good. That's what we expected there. So we're at 16 gigs. We just like quadrupled the amount of memory we had there quickly. Okay, yeah. Let's watch this game, and we'll just make sure the memory drops. We'll see we don't get out of memoried. Hopefully we don't 500, but I kind of think that's asking too much at the moment. I don't know why, but it does seem like that might be asking too much, but if I turn on the follow, maybe I will catch an error or something if we 500 again. It's like the last turn there, 502. And I just don't get any information out of it. It could just be a standard timeout, I guess. People were reporting some timeout issues and stuff in Discord, so maybe that's what's happening. Because I definitely didn't run out of memory there. And yep, now memory dropped back down to the 100. Okay, so the memory is not my issue right now. We're not crashing because of that, so that's good. And maybe we're just seeing standard timeouts. If that's the case, that's fine. Like, we'll just let that be. Nothing to do about that. And then yeah, the memory graph is looking really good. We're not hitting this like 70% anymore. I do think part of that was not getting rid of old games. So if I started a new game, we were not doing great on memory there. So we fixed that. Okay, well, I think we might wrap up here, team. This was a good stream, and we got a good bit of the caching working. I don't think it's making Hobbs a lot better yet, but that's okay. We will continue to work on that, hopefully before the tournament here next week. But I think I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you everyone for coming along and hanging out with me today. It was good to be back and do some streaming again. And I think maybe I'll try to do some admin of code later. So if you're hanging out in the Discord, I hope to drop a YouTube link or something in there later today for the first admin of code. So hope to see you around, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will see everyone later this week. I'm not sure if we're going to do a Tuesday stream for the peak, because I think with Advent of Code, I might skip the Tuesdays and repurpose them for doing some of these Advent of Code videos. But you will definitely be hearing from me this week and hopefully seeing some content. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see everyone next week at a minimum. Thanks, team. Talk to you later. Bye.